Hello and welcome to another video. This will be a behind the scenes video. If you're reaching this video randomly through a suggestion, a message somebody sent you, you may want to know that you're going to be finding out how magicians use a marked deck. One method of marking a deck that magicians and card sharks use. So if you don't want to know, you don't want to watch the video. Unfortunately, because I really do want you to watch the video, but I understand if you don't want to learn. So what I have here is a plain old bicycle deck. It really is. Bicycle on the wrap. This is in a promo pack. I've seen these with this logo on the box for that. Still sealed. My buddy Rich P from work, whom you may have seen in another video of mine called Streetcar Magic, gave these to me the other day. He says, I run across this, and that's it, because we had like a 10-second conversation. So I'm not sure exactly where he got them, but whatever. I'm very tedious about this seal, because I'd like to keep the box in usable condition, but I don't want the remainder of the seal to get sticky on the back of any cards, which is what happens right here. So and sometimes using a little bit of heat from a blow dryer or a heat gun, the heat gun's kind of overpowered, we'll just get the seal off. And to be completely OCD, we'll also remove the other half of the seal. Go like that a couple times so the sticky stuff comes off. We don't keep this either. A standard poker deck, bicycle cards, is going to come as a set of 54 with 2 jokers and probably a promo card or 2. There's the promo card. If they had backings on either side, you could use them as gaff cards, start to make duplicate cards, double-faced cards by gluing them together. In this case, they're not good for much, so we put them over in that way. This is in fresh deck order. That's sure helpful. The 2 jokers we're going to set to the side for now, because typically you do this with a 52 card deck. I'm sure someone else developed a system before I developed one to include the 2 jokers in a marked deck of bicycle cards, but I developed one, so I'll show you that too later. 13 cards in each suit, 4 suits. These are the basics. That's what a new deck order looks like, by the way, when you get it out of a bicycle deck. Ace to king of hearts, clubs, diamonds, spades, king to ace, king to ace. Ace to king, 2 kings in the middle back to back, the other 2 suits. Let's start simple. It's a mnemonic. M-N-E-M-O-N-I-C. Mnemonic. Memory trick that magicians can implement is called chased, as in C-H-A-S-E-D, chased. And if you take the vowels out of chased, you're left with C-H-S-D. Club, hearts, spades, diamonds, in that order. That's a way magicians can remember a stacked deck or anything of the sort. In this case, we're going to use chased for the 4 markings of the suit of the card. And those are going to be right here. There's actually 5 little spots in that curl. We're only going to use 4 out of the 5 at all times. Well, not really, because with the joker, I just color one of the jokers, I color them all in. Okay. You do it with the upper right and the lower left, which becomes the upper right, lower left. Now, why you could do all 4 corners, maybe this corner and this corner is easier to read than this corner and this corner. What happens is typically, now, if you're left or right-handed and how exactly you do things makes the difference. But when you go to fan them out, this part is shrouded by the next card underneath, which means there's less of a chance of anybody noticing that they're marked. If someone's really going to look for it and know what they're looking for, you're done in anyways. So whatever. Okay, Joker's off to the side. We'll start with... we'll start with having everything in place and telling you what's what. So the deck of cards, brand new bicycle standard rider back with this pattern. You'll need that and a properly colored Sharpie marker. This is a red Sharpie and it's a medium point. Okay, I'd say that's a very fine point. It's the only red one I had on hand. I normally just use the standard Sharpie marker size, that is, and it works on the dots if you're good with your hands. I normally do it under very nice lighting, good flat clean surface, no fans on, the wind's not blowing by it, the cat's not going to come over and walk across the table and ruin everything that I have out. Right time, right place. You do the same, because it may take up to half an hour, depending on the size of your workspace. I typically will do something in this area, do like 7-8 cards, give it a couple minutes for the Sharpie to dry, stack them back up, do another 7-8 while I'm watching a TV show or doing something else around. Okay? So if you had a big work table, you could go do it in like 5 minutes. All right? But you do it how you're happy with spending your time and learning how. The red Sharpie works with the red decks. The black Sharpie works with the black decks. They make a couple different shades of blue Sharpies. There is one that matches the shade of blue on blue bicycle rider backs. And you don't see very many other color rider back cards come out. Special decks, sometimes they'll produce a black and white deck. Again, you can turn to the black marker. They have the European style green that they still print that you could still find. It's a very light green, and I don't think you'll find anything that matches that. The black and red decks disguise the process the most. The red Sharpie matches really well, and black on black is quite effective. So you give it a try, and for your own sake, you may want it to stand out a little bit. There are small markings, not really noticeable unless you are looking for a marked deck. So for your practice and learning how to handle it and do tricks and read it to do tricks, you may want a kind of marking that stands out a little bit oddball. So instead of a red Sharpie, you might get some dollar store red permanent marker where the shade ends up a little bit darker, but it's easier for you to spot. Well, you may make the mistake and ruin your marked deck of cards. You certainly haven't ruined the deck of cards. You always save it for duplicates if you make huge mistakes, or just trash the one card you made a mistake with and grab that one card from another deck. Then the system's really easy. Using just the upper right, because remember, this will be the upper right, lower left. We use this flower petal for marking, and this 5-dot section for marking. I'm going to do one right now. This is the Ace of Clubs. Pardon me while I bring the card down here to write on. Hopefully that's not too dry of a Sharpie. An Ace of Clubs. Clubs, for the first of the 4 out of 5 dots being marked up into this little loop. CHSD. Chased. Club, hearts, spades, diamonds. If it's the first one blacked out, focus, it's club. If it's the second one blacked out, hearts. Third, spades. Fourth, diamonds. We'll get back to the jokers in that little loop in a second. For the petal flower, focus. For the petal flower, an ace has no dots, no markings on it. There's your one. Very simple. It's the one of clubs. Yes, it is. What you do is this corner, I'll go back, I'll do this lower corner later. Continue to show you what the pattern looks like. Oh, I'm laying it to the side to be sure it dries for a couple of minutes without putting anything on top of it. First time I did this, I ended up with Sharpie marks on the faces of the cards because I stacked them before they were dry and the one underneath would rub it. It's no good. And if you do make a mistake, don't try to wash it away. Well, maybe you should try. I haven't found something that works yet. Like rubbing alcohol, the slightest dab, and then boom, the little plastic coating on the card comes off. You start to lose it. So you want to do it right when you do it. But you don't have to be perfect. The two of clubs. Here comes the cat to make a mess out of the cards. Remember, I was talking about the good time and place. The marking's a little bit faded. I'm going to go back over it with this fine tip. But it's the first in the top. At the 12 o'clock on the clock, that one filled in is the 2. And you'll see the club marking also marked in. So the 2, if you went around clockwise, you go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, straight down, 7, 8 to the left, 9, and you're all the way back around to 2. So to make a 10, you use the center dot. And there you have ace through 10. Ace with nothing, that's a 2 you're looking at here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the dot. And then you go Jack, Queen, King by using this petal, which is colored in here, along with the center dot, is a Jack. Next one over, Queen, King. That's the entire system, the standard system for it. Over here with the jokers, what I do is I leave them blank like aces in the petal. And in the suit formation, I either color none of them in or all of them in. No color, all color. And I can even tell the two jokers apart. Takes a little bit of practice in using it and go, oh yeah, that's a 6 of diamonds. But as soon as you have it memorized and are good with your eyes looking at that without giving it away to the person watching you, then you're fine. Good luck with this.